gents, this is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, Road Trip, Morning Talks, and let's talk about some boxing. Anything goes, various topics, let's get it. Hit that like button as you guys come in. So this is a travel day, so as I mentioned yesterday in my last live stream in the afternoon, that I would be going live, right? And this is a perfect opportunity because we're just rolling, cruising. Julian Falcon. Hey, when is it about to start? What about to start? Any minute, I hope. Okay? We're on. This is live. On, alive, and living color. So, there we go. All right. I hope we're not lagging or whatever. I was talking about the stream itself. No, we're ready. We're on. Can everybody see me all right? Is everybody good to go? We got 6 on the chat. That means we need 6 likes. Let's hit that like button. CJ, what's up, brother? Morning to you. We got 7 on the chat. So you know what that means? We need 7 likes. Damn, I actually made a live stream for once. Manny, Counterpunch to you. Where you headed? I'm headed to D-Town. Got to drop my car off. And I got a family function to go to for tomorrow. So I'm going to drop my car off because I have other business to attend. So we'll all, me and my family, we're going to rendezvous there. So can't stay too long because I'm going to the gym soon. Hey, this what's up, bro. You know, unless you got some beats like this, I don't blame you. But let's talk about some boxing. Now, we just heard that Chocolatito Gonzalez has the COVID-19. We know Brian Figueroa has the COVID-19. You know, the COVID-19 is mean and nowhere in between. Bars. You know? So, you know, like COVID-19 has a lot of people, you know, on the back burner. It has no mercy. Yeah, COVID-19 is like Cobra Kai, bro. No mercy. What do you guys think about Evander Holyfield? If AJ beats Usyk, AJ Duckers 3 ain't happening. Wizard Sleeve. AJ, this is what I think about AJ for a quick second. I think AJ's people wish on his downfall. The man makes too much money, he's too successful, he's stupidly known. You know, he's too established, and it makes people sick. You know, did you think AJ gets the decision win against Usyk? I hope not, unless he actually deserved it. You know, I got to put that point out there. Knockout or nothing. Because see, here's the thing: if it goes to a decision, and if it's like some 7-5 type of stuff, people are going to talk. People are going to claim robbery. People are going to, you look, they're going to be hating. Now we got 3. There we go. All right. Sorry about that, guy. Had a little dead spot, and I got my here to my device. Yeah, it's lagging a bit. It's lagging. Okay, so all right, we got idiots driving, so bear with us. But no, like I was explaining about AJ, if AJ goes a decision with Usyk and if it's some 7-5 type stuff, what's going to happen is, first of all, people are going to claim robbery. then we have to look back at it. And if it's anywhere close, it's going to be some controversy. It's going to be some talk. It's going to be some criticizing, right? Of course, I'll be counterpunching, but I'll try to see it as unbiased as possible because, it is what it is. But I don't want it to be a close fight because then you have to consider the hometown advantage to be one of the factors. Got a piece. Okay. If AJ wins by decision, proper, one-sided, will be impressed personally. Well, yeah, but no. Don't leave anything to chance. Go for the KO. You know what I mean? Don't leave anything to chance. Go for the KO. That's what I say. Because then people will ask, oh, well, it's going to look bad on AJ if he doesn't knock out us. Oh, he should have got the knockout since him being a true heavyweight. Yeah, he should go for the knockout, definitely. Definitely, no doubt about it. Go for the knockout. But Usyk is feel. He's very feel. It's a trip. I remember Tony Bellew called Alexander Usyk a star, right? Alexander Usyk was like, no star. He told the translator, tell him that I'm not a star. Stars go out. I'm not a star. Don't go for the decision. No, that's the easy way out. That's some Andy Ruiz Jr. Part 2 type stuff, right? Don't go for the decision. The video I posted earlier this morning before I went to sleep. No, you shouldn't go for that. Go for the knockout. Afternoon, Kurt. Steven Bamberg. I think AJ rushes Usyk and tries to get him in early. Well, it's better try than not try at all, right? That's what I say. Don't try to play it safe. I don't want to see another Joseph Parker fight. Because, that fight had controversy, right? And it was in the UK, right? So you don't want that type of fight. You don't want that type of fight. And then we don't know if the referees, because the British referees are kind of weird to me. They didn't let Joseph Parker fight on the inside, and I don't think that was cool. Because at the same token, if they don't let Usyk fight on the inside when he gets in the inside, that's taken away half of his strategy. But then again, the last fight that he fought was in the UK, and that's all Derek Chisora did was held him and hit him. That's all he really did, honestly. Worked the body, and then when he was on the inside, he grabbed him and he mauled him. He chopped him up, right? Roughed him up, banged him up. That's what he did. So then you get in there with AJ, and you're not allowed to do the same thing that Derek Chisora, a countryman, was doing. That's not cool. I know it's different refs that do different things, but, punch to get out. Like the great, infamous Richard Steele says, punch to get out. It's fighting. Oh, Richard Steele. AJ versus Ruiz are 1-1. Let's do the third. Juan Walk. Well, that would be the thing to do for Andy Ruiz. That would make his whole career. Hey, I can't fault the man for that. Andy Ruiz is thankful. See, Andy Ruiz was thankful when he got the opportunity. He beat Anthony Joshua. He kind of started smelling himself a bit. He lost a lot. He comes back, he gets beat. That made him humble again. You see how that works? So, he went from humble to uppity, back to humble. But I don't see him beating Joshua again, though. Because Joshua knows how to beat him. And then see, even when Chris Arreola took him down, and dropped him. Chris Arreola, I mean, he was a pretty good fighter, but you have to understand he was a 40-year-old fighter that just actually, for the run of the first times in his life, started taking care of his body. That's how he was able to, pick and choose. Because Ruiz, you have to give him that opportunity to throw those combinations. He ain't gonna just throw them because he's too far away. He's too short. He's only 6'1", 6'1.5", maybe, if that. You know what I mean? Now he's gotten smaller, so he looks like a little buff medium heavyweight now, don't he? He just got a big head. Some heavyweight in Usyk camp was saying Usyk like a ghost in the ring. Manny, I'm gonna do an interview on that. I got a counter on that. Yeah, he said he's like a ghost in that. Look, this fight ain't gonna be what people think it's gonna be, man. I'm trying to tell you. I am trying to tell you. The ref screwed that fight up. Be honest, thought AJ not at all uncomfortable on the inside. No, well, uncomfortable. Well, protect himself. It's going to be at the back of his spine. I think he should try and cover Usyk and smother him whenever he gets a chance to impose his size on him. Well, he's going to need to use smaller, quicker. Maybe I'm not sure about that. Let's hit that like button. Let's get some more people on here, because of what happens. If we don't hit the like button, it'll just be us. It's 16 of us in here. I know it's a little early or whatnot, but I think that's the point. Maybe people are not off work yet or whatever. Maybe YouTube haven't set out these notifications. Let's hit that like button. We got 18 on here. Thank you. Hit the like button. Now we got 20 and 8. That's like 40%. Let's hit that like button. Damn, somebody ran off in the ditch. What do you guys think about Andy Ruiz's all of a sudden speedy recovery? A full packed stadium, can't wait. Yeah, I hope nothing happens. You know what I mean? Because I thought we had the Wilder Fury fight in the bag, and 2 weeks out, boom, the COVID shit happens. Alpha OK comes out with a master class and smash Usyk across the ring, but no jokes because Usyk too elusive. Do you think he will get the credit? Only if he's allowed to fight like he's supposed to fight. If you stop him from doing what he normally does due to something that, some BS like, oh, don't fight on the inside, or a ref trying to do too much, the worst thing a referee can do is try to be a part of the fight. A referee should be like a server at a dinner table, right? That server is only there when needed. Okay? That server shouldn't be there in conversations. That server shouldn't be there when, when you're having your eating time. That server should be there whenever needed. Ketchup, salt, pepper, napkins, water, refills, right? Referees should be the same way like servers. Referees should be the J. Roos theory. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Boxing TV 258. You good, CP? I am. But no, I mean, referees, they shouldn't be like every time they get in a clinch. You shouldn't do that. Let them punch and get out. It's their fight. Let them fight. That's how a ref should be. They're two grown-ass men. They don't need another guy coming in there telling them what to do. Unless they just stop fighting and hug on each other. That's different. I would hope Ruiz is clean, but everyone is looking at that camp now. Manny, yeah, I mean, that is, and they do have a camp of either undefeated fighters or very good fighters. Frank Sanchez, undefeated. Ryan Garcia, undefeated. Oscar Valdez, undefeated. Then we got Canelo. Then we got Ruiz, right? Got the first Mexican heavyweight unified champion in the world, And then you got a guy that's four division belt holder, maybe possibly soon to be undisputed super middleweight champion of the world. They got a lot riding on that, man. Let's hit that like button. Have you heard anything about a comeback from Vladimir Klitschko? Steven Bamber? No, not yet. I haven't in a while. But I tell you this, he got to look better than Holyfield. Holyfield looked bad. I didn't even do a video on that because I didn't want to really disrespect him. You know, I thought about it. I was like, no, man, you know. But I won't cover it. You know, for one, I'll be busy with a function. I'll be with family. So that'll be my day off for that day, especially when it comes to like fights. So I won't be doing it, but other people I know will. So, you know, I might take a look at their live streams if I have a little free time. But no, man, when Oscar De La Hoya pulled out, De La Hoya is only 47. Evander Holyfield is damn near 60, if not 60. Okay, now you look at the fights between the two. De La Hoya retired in 2008, and he retired on the stool. He didn't get really beat up bad. He only was stopped once, right? And that was by Hopkins with a body shot. You know, he been in his wars, you know, with the Mosleys. He was in there with Fernando Vargas. You know, he was in there he had his time. He did his thing. But he didn't take a lot of punishment in the ring. He took a lot of punishment outside the ring due to, you know, his lifestyle. But no, I mean, he didn't have that type of damage that was put on him by these. Okay? Like Holyfield. Holyfield, dude, he fought way too long. Now he's coming back, you know, and he's looking all gun shy. No, man, that's not cool. And then you ask yourself, who the hell allowed and like gave this guy license to box? You gotta go out for those. You gotta apply for boxing license. It ain't like they just give them to you on fight night. Chick, good morning, Kurt. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you. Counterpunch member, CPM in the place to be. Tar, I just saw something on YouTube that is still hungry. What do you make of the Cambosos and Tio fight being further pushed back? I'm so sick of that fight, dude. I don't know what's going to happen. Teofimo, he don't want Loma. But, I mean, he doesn't realize, like, yo, Loma made you who you were. You had to beat Loma. Let's see if you can do it again. But Loma, look, it's their fault. They should have put it in the rematch. They should have put it in their contract, a rematch clause. And because they didn't do that, you know, that was the dumbest thing they could have done. Because you don't know how fights are going to pan out. Everybody just, you know, Lomachenko, the Matrix, high tech. Lomachenko, the Matrix, high tech. Oh, he's going to dominate Tio. And what happened? Went 12 rounds. Tio won on a damn decision. Because Lomachenko didn't want to engage. Have you heard about Trump versus Biden boxing match? I have not. I know Trump will be on that Triller thing. Holyfield is evidence that boxing ain't no game. I'm in better shape physically and mentally at 59. He left it all in the ring, got nothing left. And he ain't got nothing left. If I was Holyfield, I would be in shape and I would be a big whore. But you know what? I think Holyfield was a big whore anyway. Because he had a lot of children out of wedlock, I heard. If you guys watch boxing like I did, you know, Holyfield had a lot of, allegedly, had a lot of women. But he had a lot of women out of wedlock. He did. That was no lie. And Lennox Lewis was like, you think you call yourself a Christian man and you have 2 kids out of wedlock? What about that, Evander? Great show, Kurt. Steve Smith. Counterpunch to you. El Qazi 1971. Early morning punch. You damn right with that counter. Good morning, Kurt from Wales. Respect. Is that Soul Man 679? Counterpunch to you from Wales. From the great Kawasaki place. Kawasaki, I don't think got enough credit. I think he came around at the wrong time. If Kawasaki would have came around maybe about 4 years earlier than he did, he would have been one bad mother sucker. Because he would have gave a lot of people problems. Can you imagine Golovkin? Or either earlier or 4 years later. You imagine Kawasaki and Golovkin? Man, that would have been a hell of a fight. Golovkin, you know, he had a kind of a weird career, didn't he? Let's hit that like button. The Italian Dragon, baby. Ayub Ivza. Respect from Manchester. I hope I said that right. Sounded right anyway. Dragon is for Wales. Is for Wales or is from Wales? Isaac Myers, what's up? Counterpunch to you. Just taking a road trip. Let's get those likes up. We got 18 likes. We got 48 people on the chat. We need 48 likes. Soul Man 679 flag. Counterpunch from Sheffield Boxing Hotbed UK. Mr. J Bars. Counterpunch from Sheffield. J Rodriguez. Que lo que hola. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Mr. J Hotspot. Thumbs up for me. That's it. Hey, we in here, man. We connecting all over the world. From South Africa, Sheffield, England, Wales, America. Where we from? Where are we from? Shout out where you from. So I give you a shout out wherever you are in the States. This is early morning, man. It's Friday. It's a good day to be alive. Jay Rodriguez, he's from PR. Where? Bayamon? Cupiarto? Dime cuando. Swansea, South Wales. Anyone know if the undercard for the Wilder Fury is the same before? You know what, Manny? I think it is. I think everything got pushed back. See, Bayamon. Yep. Bayamon. I just took a wild guess. I didn't know. Southern California, Isaac Myers. So it's really early in the morning for you, eh? Pittsburgh, PA, WMMA. Seen now. Pennsylvania. Here from Glossop near Manchester. Manchester in the house. Let's get those likes up. Let's get those likes up. Danish counter. Counterpunch to you. So we got Puerto Rico, we got Southern California, we got Pittsburgh, we got Wales, we got Manchester. Hey, we in here. Let's hit that like button. Let's get those likes up. Johnny Best, what's up, Kurt? Greetings from Malaysia. Malaysia in the house. Paul Burke, Liverpool. Johnny Best from Malaysia. Dick from Hollywood, CA, coming in. Chris Longland from Australia. JP, blessings to you, Kurt. South London in the building. Stephen Bamber. It's 15:30, which is 3:30 here in Preston, England. Preston, England in the house. Is it? It's Stephen Tarr. What is that? Shropshire, England. In the house. Man, we're all over. It's Counterpunch Boxing News worldwide. That's what I'm talking about. Boxing is world. It's a world sport. And that's what people don't realize about boxing. You know, like I wanted it nationalized, or a better way, or just one sanctioning body. That would work, but it would have to be a world organization. It couldn't be a national one. So how would you fit into a national ranking if you're from Australia? You know what I mean? West Knowledge 101. I question Joshua's mental strength when it comes to skills. He got that, but I don't think he trusts himself like that. You think he's still apprehensive from that beating he took? Dog Fog. Kurt, have you ever seen boxing live in England? No. I've seen it from television. And look, from fights stick out to me. Klitschko Joshua, Dillian White, Chisora 2, Golovkin, Brooke, Floyd Mayweather, Ricky Hatton, even though that was in the States. Those fights stick out to me. Why? Because it was just a different type of energy. It was like the energy, like the crowd, everybody was crunk. They were on a different level. Like even when Floyd fought Hatton, you know how many Brits came over to support Ricky Hitman Hatton? I mean, they were everywhere. And if Ricky would have beat Floyd, I bet you guys would have been tearing and turning over shit. News at 11. This is Kelly Cox from Channel 5 News. There has been a riot on the outside of Mandalay Bay. 300 Brits are going out screaming, tearing up the strip of Las Vegas. So ecstatic that Ricky Hatton has defeated Floyd Mayweather. It would have been some shit. Off the canvas boxing. What's up, Kurt? Eyes on the road, brother. No, everything's good. Not a big claim. You're doing good, brother. I like your information. Boxing news watching from Hong Kong. Ida, Hong Kong in the house. Be a great matchup. Chris Rang. It would. Why not? It would. It's a shame you're not going to be in Tottenham. No. Tottenham. Is it Tottenham? Hotspur. 4,000, I think. Just at the weigh-in. Wow. What weigh-in? Is it Tottenham? Yes. There we go. All right. We love how you say Tottenham. So sweet. Oh, God. Yeah, I pronounce it Tottenham. It's like 2 syllables, 3. So it's Tottenham. Dude. Language is very, very strange. It's funny. I seen an American argue with a guy from Britain. It's like, no, it's pronounced 3, not 3, 3. British guy's like, we invented it. We invented it, you dulcer. We invented it, mate. It's crazy, man. I think Usyk has a real chance, worth a big bet. Steven, why not? You know what? You can make some money on that. You know what money you could have made? Somebody would have aggressively bet on Andy Ruiz. They would have bet on Andy Ruiz, yeah, definitely. You would have seen some type of kickback. Imagine if you came down and put 5,000 on someone that was 20-1. What are those betting odds? Can someone tell me? Somebody would have put $5,000 on Andy Ruiz to win in the 7th round. Get you a Gray Sports Almanac and go back in time. Go back a couple years. It's not there. It's not there. It's 210. It's 210 ham. Steven, I would stick a monkey on Usyk would win. hey, somebody better be aggressive because you never know when the next thing gonna happen. But if AJ loses, he has a rematch, but he will lose stock, definitely. I mean, it happens, man. You know, AJ lost a couple years ago. So many people dropped off my channel. Man, they dropped off. I'm like, yo, shit, I didn't lose. What you get mad at me for? You know, I mean, people were hurt, man. When AJ lost, dude, people were... Look, that shit, you should have seen Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn, dude, he looked like he was like having a panic attack. Eddie Hearn looked like he was having a panic attack. When Andy Ruiz started, when he nailed Anthony Joshua and put him down, motherfuckers were like, oh God, what was that? Daryl Alexander with that $5 quarter dub. Appreciate the love, brother. Compared to the money offered to Fury by AJ and the team, it's pretty clear that Wilder was lowball. Why is AJ given a pass for that? Serious question. Compared to the money offered to Fury by AJ team, it's pretty clear that Wilder was lowballed. Why is AJ given a pass? He wasn't given a pass. You understand there were different times in negotiations, right? I mean, Deontay Wilder, do you know, Daryl, do you know when the negotiation started between Wilder and Joshua? Do you guys remember that? Daryl, stay with me. That's a question. Do you remember when they started negotiations of AJ and Wilder? Can I get a 9-4 on Usyk? Can bet against my man, but it's good odds, worth a few quid or bucks. Yeah. Just even if AJ allows Usyk to come forward, it won't be good for AJ. It won't, because Usyk will do exactly that. The only thing Usyk has to be worried about is those pull counters, because AJ has become, you know, he's real good at that. Because if you think about it, let's look at Pulev's speed compared to Usyk's speed. So you got, how fast can Usyk throw his straight left or his right hand compared to Pulev's jab? Pulev has a quick, sneaky jab, don't he? Okay, 5 years ago. So that, but it wasn't quite that long ago. Because, I mean, 18, that was only 3 years ago. It started in late 17, Daryl. And they offered him $7 million. And then since from $7 million came 12.5. Okay? So when the 12.5, Deontay wasn't having that, Anthony Joshua then fought the WBO. And the WBO champion was Joseph Parker, which was also undefeated at the time. Okay? Shout out to Chick for the love of the channel. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate the love. Keep counterpunching. Keep watching. And I think at the end of the day, when AJ fought Joseph and then got the WBO, you remember he had the WBA. He got it 17. He got the IBF from Charles Martin, knocked him out in 2. And then in between those times, they actually were in whatever. Now, I don't even know if they were really in talks, because you didn't have no one sitting down at the table. So there was never a time when Wilder's team decided, let's sit down and talk, until later that year when Deontay was fighting Tyson Fury. That was around the same time, and Eddie Hearn and Shelly Finkel couldn't get together. Okay, so you had the $7 million in late 17, then you had the 12.5 in early 18. That fell through because it was labeled slave wages. So then Joshua negotiated with Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker got a percentage though, but that percentage was only worth like $8 million to him, right? And after that, you understand that AJ was getting more success because now he has another belt. So he was now damn near he was unified, right? So he had 3 belts compared to 1, where at the same time, earlier that month, Deontay Wilder took on the tough, hard, rugged, undefeated fighter Luis King Kong Ortiz. And then that raised his profile just a bit, because then he was actually tested by somebody that can actually box. And he had his trouble and had his own war, which I think that was a much better fight than AJ versus Joseph Parker, by the way. So, you know, but then they offered him 15 million, right? Now, about the 15 million, in between the 15 million and 12.5 came the $50 million situation, right? So they were going off of what AJ said and AJ wanted. But no, those negotiations, they didn't stop there. We all know what happened with that. The 15 million, they agreed at first, and then they turned around. Team Wilder, they turned around and said, no, we didn't agree, because there was no rematch clause. But, you know, it just shows you that they were really looking at a particular, I don't know what they were looking at. If they didn't see the rematch clause at the beginning, so that was carelessness on their behalf. Blame Shelly Finkel, JD's or whatever, you know. But then after that, they were offered another, like a split, and I think it was like a 20-80 or a 25-75, and these were both in late 18. You didn't hear about those because all you really could hear about was the fact that Joshua was so scared of Wilder. Okay, that's all you heard, and you heard that from Wilder. But what Team Wilder didn't tell you is they were getting sent offers constantly from Team Joshua to fight. Okay, and the one that raised everybody's eyebrows was in 2019 when Eddie Hearn was like, you know what, forget it. The Zone will go and get John Skipper to talk to these guys, right? So what ended up happening? He got that deal done. He got them to sit down. That was the only time when Wilder, Al Heyman, Shelly Finkel, when these guys sat down to see what John Skipper from the Zone had to say. So at least they did that. But the only way they did that was because of Lou DiBella, right? So that happened, and they turned that down. So, I mean, that was a 3-fight deal or a 4-fight deal, and it was for $100 million apiece. Not $100 million apiece. The whole thing was $100 million. And they passed that up. So Wilder wanted to bet on himself due to his advisors. And that's what we had it. Right? There was no other negotiations between them. So when you talk about Tyson Fury having a pass, that was recently. Now, you could look at it like, well, why didn't you give Wilder that and you give him Tyson Fury? Well, Tyson Fury hasn't been defeated. Tyson Fury is a WBC champion, and Tyson Fury doesn't have guys like Shelly Finkel and Al Heyman that are constantly trying to sabotage everything for the sake of their own power struggle, you know? So that's what you have. I hope I answered your question, you know? Gotta agree, Usyk brings a lot to the division that was missing. I want to see him against all three. I would love to see him against that. But, you know, Tyson Fury ain't gonna fight nobody like that. You know what I mean? Tyson Fury likes to fight people, or just to fight that one person, and that one person is enough to say that he's the best, which everybody knows that's bullshit. Don't work that way. My prediction is the people will think Usyk won, but the judges will think AJ won. Oh, man, James Burrell. That's why I don't want it like that. That's why I definitely don't want a decision. We don't need any Joseph Parker shit like that. And Joseph Parker kind of fell through the cracks when he went balls to the ball with Dillian White. Pulev only has a sneaky jab, though. Usyk has many skills. He does. That is true. That is exactly what AJ wants Usyk to come forward. Southpaws don't like to come forward. If you know anything about boxing, 99% will wait for the opponent to come forward, then they'll get counterpunched. Well, It depends on what Joshua does. If he's able to catch Usyk with that jab on the outside, he ain't got no choice but to come inside. Look at it this way. For all the people that are rooting for AJ for this fight, look at it. Look at Lennox Lewis and Evander Holyfield. Evander Holyfield couldn't do anything with Lennox Lewis. He was just too tall and too big, too talented. That jab, he couldn't get past that jab or that right hand. He was getting peppered with that jab constantly, right? Yeah. Where's the contract, brother? Need to get you on TV as a commentator. I don't know. They need to send one. That would be cool. Usyk will try to make it a conditioning competition. Certainly interesting. Longer it goes, the better for Usyk. He is better. He is busy. He is so busy. His opponents burn out fast trying to keep up. Yeah, that's true. Look at Michael Hunter. Michael Hunter, I seen that fight with him and Michael Hunter about 3 weeks ago. And Michael Hunter, they actually could have stopped that fight because Usyk was getting into his shit. He was really getting into his shit really good. Like, Michael Hunter was all over the place. You know what I mean? He survived, but he was getting beat up because Usyk was like turning it on. He like had another notch. That's what he does. He flips that gear. He puts it in the 6th gear. Did anyone watch Derek Chisora fight Usyk? Never came forward once. He was always on the back foot, and the fight in Chisora is not that good. Well, I mean, he set up shots because he timed Chisora coming in. Exciting fight, possible classic. I hope so. I hope that is a fight to remember. Win, lose, or draw. Because, you know, again, if you're a fan of boxing, you want to see a good fight. You know, the politics of everything will make you not capture the love of the game. Which boxing would stop these rematch clauses? Just lay it all on the line. Mr. J, I'm with you on that. Counterpunch to you. See, everybody talks about Lomachenko versus Teofimo, but that's when rematch clauses not having one gets bad, because you got guys like Teofimo Lopez. He beats you and then he wants to run off and won't fight you again, right? Which, he was busier, therefore he won. But did that mean he was more dominant? No, didn't mean he was more dominant. He got some good shots in, but there was really nothing like so defining. He won the 12th round, you know what I mean? But Lomachenko, you know, he should have fought Loma again. But again, that's why you have rematch clauses. You know, shit just like that. Somebody wants to run off with all your progress. You know what I'm saying? True, losing a fight can make the fighter better if they learn from the mistakes. Well, we'll definitely see what Joshua's planning to do. He's getting skinny, ain't he? Of course, AJ has big power, but people need to stop saying that the first time AJ connects, Usyk will go down. When's the last time AJ scored an early KO? Eric Molino back in 2016. That's true. I mean, even with Dominic Brazil, he had to beat him into submission. That took 7 rounds, though, right? A good combo might be Boxing Wave and yourself. 2 top-notch commentators, OBS, no perceivable bias. Well, you have to talk about things as they are. And the saving grace of, like, I don't know about Boxing Wave. I don't know how long he's watched boxing. But I've been watching boxing since I was a kid. And I was around from pay-per-view to HBO to Showtime to ESPN to ESPN2. Because you had Tuesday night fights on ESPN. You had Friday night fights on ESPN2. You had Showbox. You had Boxing, KO Nation, right? You had a lot of different venues. Boxing After Dark, which were classic. You know, Terrell Gotti fought a lot on that. David Tua. You know, you had these fighters. And Floyd Mayweather, before he was really the guy back then, because you had so many other people. You had all the Roy Jones Jr. fights. I used to get damn near every one of those pay-per-views. You know, and they were like $39.99 or something like that. They wasn't expensive for $49, if that. You know, back in the 90s. This is like 96, you know, when Roy Jones Jr. KO'd Montel Griffin. Those type of things. You know, to watch the fights. You know, the fights were something that's always been a part of me and my family. So, you know, I've been watching boxing before social media, before all the YouTube, before all the new media. All we had was media. It wasn't old media. It was just media. Okay? Custom Auto been gone. 98, 99, maybe 2000. You know, had a lot of classic fights. Julio Cesar Chavez, the Felix Trinidads. You had like, so I was around since all the other mess happened. You know, I just came in on the boxing scene as far as YouTube. What, about 6 years ago? But really, to be honest, about 3. Because, you know, I started a YouTube channel back in 15, but I didn't do things on it every day. I was mostly on Facebook. I cannot wait for your prediction, Kurt. Prediction of what? AJ versus Usyk? Yep, I agree. Curtis, AJ can make the adjustments in a rematch. It will probably be a boring technical fight, but I like AJ Ruiz too. Well, it depends. But it does suck, though. Rematches do suck for the nature of, you fight a guy, you beat a guy, you're obligated to fight him again. Like, what the hell is that about? You know what I mean? Buenos dias, Mr. Kirk. Buenos dias, Riders of the Storm. I was thinking about that song last night, actually. Boxing used to bring people together. Yeah. You know, I talked to an ex-girlfriend of mine, right? And she was like, oh, I really like your channel, but let me ask you something. Do you have to have those girls all plastered around like that? I'm like, do you watch boxing at all? You know? Alan Hinton, I'm off to Dallas, man. I'm going to Dallas. But it was crazy because she was like, all these girls are plastered all over your wall and your videos. I'm like, you don't watch boxing, do you? She's like, no. I'm like, that's what ring card girls do. These are counterpunch boxing models, CP models, I call them, and they're for the channel. You know, they're in, you know, the beginning or in between the rounds, give you an introduction of some beauty before we get into the sport of boxing talk. You know, it's like the same concept, right? She couldn't get that. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't care. You know? Soul Man 6679. My name is not Curtis. That's a pet peeve. I hate that. I got a brother named Curtis, a father named Curtis, a grandfather named Curtis, a great-grandfather named Curtis, a great-great-great-grandfather named Curtis. Like 7 generations of Curtises. My brother has like 3 Curtises. Curtis is not my name. You're always triggering me with those voluptuous ebony goddesses. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. That's the point. Get you enticed, right? Get you enticed. I want, you know, all different types of brown, light, white, right, bars, all types of beauty, man. That's what I want. I was talking to Curtis, not you. Okay, cool. I didn't see there was a Curtis. Oh, you mean Curtis Mall? Gotcha. I had my first agent was a guy named Jeffrey Nightberg. Jeffrey Nightberg used to say that all the time. Like, my name is Kurt. He said, yeah, all right, whatever, Curtis. He had these big lips, kind of like Aerosmith. Yeah, whatever, Curtis. He used to drink wine and do coke, right? He used to go to the bathroom. Well, I was telling you to transition a bit. I'm gonna have to. Wait a minute, I gotta go powder my nose. You'd go in there, and you'd hear him. We're like, what the hell is he doing? He comes back out, Yeah, where was I? Anyway, Curtis. I'm like, that's not my name. All right, Curtis. Fucking jerk off. Ghost, ha ha ha. Hey, opposites attract. You remember the Paula Abdul song? You know, 2 steps forward and 2 steps back. We come together because opposites attract, you know. Yeah, dude, I'm old. But anyway, your main CPN model is gorgeous. Oh man, thank you. Actually, she's my first, so you know, we started a couple years ago. I'm like, yeah, let's get it on. You know, real good friend of mine. We used to date, and now we're just really good friends and stuff. So, you know, she helps me out and stuff like that. Never heard it, but sounds like a good song. Yeah, it's with Paula Abdul. You remember when Paula Abdul used to be on top of the late 80s? If you guys are old enough to know that, you know. Now, if you were born in 88 or 92, you won't know what the hell I'm talking about, you know. But Paula Abdul was like one of the finest women on the planet. But that was one of her hits. Yeah, she was hot, right as a star. Man, she was smoking. Remember, she used to be married to Emilio Estevez, Charlie Sheen's brother. I'm like, yo, what a lucky dude. Mighty Ducks. 80s had a certain flair to it, you know. Former cheerleader. I don't know if Paula Abdul, was she? I mean, she was fine enough to, man. You know, Paula Abdul was beautiful. And she had this little mole right here. Ain't J-Lo and none of them. Nah. You know, I can't stand J-Lo. As her, we're like same age. She was she was already on another show. Like, I was on Luke Cage season 2. She did Luke Cage season 1. So, and I was like, oh, so I got casted on the show. And I was like, oh man, I get to meet Rosario. Yeah. She was over on Defenders. So you had Luke Cage season 2, then you had Defenders, and then you had Iron Fist. She was on Defenders. So I was like, damn. So I missed her, you know. So Dan Fogg, yeah, that's my female crush right now. It's really been since 1996 when I saw her in this independent movie called Kids back in the day. Probably everyone's at this point. Yeah, Rosario Dawson, I mean, perfect to me. You know, tall, fine, got a sense of humor, you know. All the top heavyweights aren't getting any younger, all in their 30s. Yeah, they're all in the 30s. Andy Ruiz, Dillian White, Deontay Wilder's, damn, he's going to be 36 next month. Tyson Fury. You know, like, all these guys. Even Alexander Usyk's like 33. Right? Joe Joyce is 35. Them dudes are old, man. Megan Fox is stunning, but the problem is that she knows it. Chris Rang. Yeah, she was hot, though. I remember when the Transformer movies, I was like, man, what a beautiful woman. You know what I mean? It's like Kelly Kapowski 2000. You guys know who Kelly Kapowski is? That's Tiffany Amber Thiessen. If you don't know who Tiffany Amber Thiessen is, you know, she's Kelly from Saved by the Bell. The one Zach Morris was always on. But all of those girls were beautiful. You know, all of them. You know, Laura Voorhees was beautiful. She had this beautiful chocolate skin. Then you had Elizabeth Berkley. She had this beautiful, like, Irish curly hair thing going. She was tall. She was showgirls, man. Yeah, she was pretty amazing. Where are you headed, Kurt? I think Alicia Keys is a queen. Peace, love, my brother. Lindsay, Alicia Keys is gorgeous. She's gorgeous. And then the thing is, she doesn't need like makeup and all that stuff like that. She's not a made up pretty girl. She's actually a natural, beautiful, pretty girl. Kurt, if Loma had best T.O. Fimo, do you think he would have had crowned Undisputed? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. But I don't see why people don't want to fight Devin Haney. It's just sad. AJ turns 32 next month. Yeah. And yeah, because he's a year younger than Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury's like a year and a couple months older than him. Shout out to the legend Holyfield. Looks in fantastic shape for 59, but feel uncomfortable watching one of those boxing heroes fight at that age. You should. Man, I don't want to see Holyfield hurt, man. Holyfield's a good dude. He's in good shape. I'm telling you, Holyfield should worry about keeping his health, you know, turning into a vegan, getting shredded. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Get on some like some T-shot replacements. Start eating a lot of oysters. If he ain't married now, start living a single life, man. You've been fighting all your life, right? But you know what? He had some problems, like financial wise too, because you know he did have all those kids, and those women came looking for him, and they caught up with him. Tito Ortiz is no spring chicken either. No, he's not. Martha Stubbs, I will try to drive safe as possible. I'm in the far right lane cruising. Did you see Trump saying he'd KO Biden in the first round? I think he would. You know, Trump's a big bastard, you know. Fucking number 4 McDonald eating motherfucker. He would, yeah. Coca-Cola drinking ass. He probably would. How old is Biden? Like 79? How old is Trump? Like 73? That's a big difference in age, bro. That's like 23 and 29 in retrospect. You know, Biden's old, you know. I think he was a military guy and all. But I don't know. Biden might be in shape. I don't know. That motherfucker might be a little quicker. Like, you know, he got that old man quickness. You know what I mean? I love oysters. What I miss about New Orleans. They had a place in New Orleans called Dragos or Dragos. It's downtown. They got one in Metairie. They got char-grilled oysters. Some of the best shit you ever had in your life. I promise you. It'll change your life if you like oysters. I love naturally beautiful women with zero to little makeup. So you don't have to have no surprises in the morning. I used to date this chick, and she wore makeup. She was beautiful, you know. And then we went to sleep one day, woke up, and I like just woke up. Fury don't take 2 years out and go bring and come back. So man, that's exactly what he said he was going to do. Yeah, that's exactly what he said he was going to do. He was going to come back. He was going to fight for it. He was going to fight 4 guys first. Fight Dillian White, Joshua, and then Derek Chisora and shit. You know, first fight Wilder. So those are the 4. And then he says retire and fall all off, and then come back again at 37. Yeah, so that's what he's going to do. This is my opinion. Based on what he said, because I'm going to do a video on it later, but based on what he said, I feel that Tyson Fury just likes to party. Tyson Fury's lifestyle, I think. I think Tyson Fury's another Pernell Whitaker. You know, Pernell Whitaker in the 90s. Pernell Whitaker, you know, they busted him with like coke and stuff like that. Pernell used to do some of that white Colombian powder, okay? Like to live theirs. So anybody that talks, they have to love that type of lifestyle. Kurt, if Wilder could not KO Fury, how does Joshua beat him? Well, Joshua can beat him by hitting him multiple times, not just with one punch. That's why. Shit, if you can take one punch, you're all right with Fury. I mean, with Wilder, because Wilder's only going to throw one. That's why I'm really eager to see what he's going to do now. Now that he has this opportunity. But no, back to Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury just likes to party, man. You can tell it's just in him. He's a crazy gypsy. I like to party, you big Tulsa. Give me the beer. Let's start in the beer and end up in the crack house. Whoa, what? Oh, never mind. I was just kidding. No, you weren't, Tyson. You were really serious about that. Fury seems unstable to me after watching that interview. Yeah, well, yeah, he just wants to party. But I mean, if he does, it's like something you never seen before. He's just showing you who he is. That's all. Tyson Fury is going to be Tyson Fury. Tyson might be the Charlie Sheen of boxing. Man. People talk about one punch KO, but I think about it, takes a lot of some setting up, especially if the other guy knows the combination punches are where it's at. Yeah. So you can break someone down with combinations. Why do you think Wilder's working on combinations with Malik Scott? Or should I say, why is Malik Scott working on combinations with Deontay Wilder? Because they know one punch ain't going to do it. One punch didn't do it last time. One punch didn't do it before. Almost close, but no cigar. So I'll be damned, somebody's attacking you like crazy now that he knows, he's convinced he can beat your ass and hurt you. You're gonna have to fight. You're gonna have to find something to fight him back with instead of just one punch, because he might miss with that one punch. Anything that Tyson Fury knows, I can dodge that right hand, and if he can dodge the right hand, Wilder's ass is in trouble. He's better start shooting that right hand to the body, but have to watch the counters upstairs, because Tyson Fury will maul you. That's exactly what he's planning to do. He's planning to go in there and annihilate Deontay Wilder. And if Deontay gets any type of stage fright or any type of hesitance, he gonna be ran over. Ding ding. Tyson Fury's gonna go in there. Bam, 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 bam. And if it's any type of old residual psychological shit going on with Wilder, you're gonna know it. And Wilder's gonna look the same silly, scary, squirrely ass way that he looked before. And it's gonna be sad. I'm gonna laugh afterwards, but the shit is gonna be sad for him. You know, I feel bad for him. But if Fury comes in there, you big docile, bit, 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 bit. You know what I mean? And Wilder don't, and he forgets every fucking thing that he knew. He's tough, so he gonna take an ass whooping for a good while. You know, Wilder better throw that right hand. That'd be funny. Fury runs over there and Wilder just hits him. Pow! To this day! Do you understand, though? If Wilder hits Tyson Fury with one punch, that would probably be the worst thing for Deontay Wilder, because it would be the re-ending of the beginning, the re-beginning of the end for Wilder. Why? Because then he will turn into that person. He will get all of his confidence back. That's good. But who says Wilder having confidence was a really good thing? That's not really a good thing. Wilder having too much confidence, because Deontay Wilder did and made bad decisions, and he let people talk him into bad decisions, having too much confidence, being around people that pumped his head up, believing the hype. Ricky Hatton and Fury drinking beers at the pub. Mayweather and Joshua drinking water at the club while they talk about lean chicken and salad. That's it. Them old health conscious. Joshua, I like you because you don't get all bent up. You don't be drinking. You be training. And you own your money. You own your business. You ain't married either. You like me. You like a bigger me. You like a bigger British me. You want money. You know, and we do it all in-house. That's how we do it. We're the A side. Yeah, you know that. You know that. Yeah, that's for real. Yeah. Yeah, you know, I look at you like a little big brother. I look at Anthony Joshua like a little big brother. Because at the end of the day, we're gonna make money. People ain't gotta like you. Everybody ain't gotta like you. You're gonna have haters. But we ain't getting all drunk like them. Tyson Fury, man. That's only one Tyson Fury! Give me another shot. Give me another shot, you Dawson. I love you. Tyson Fury drinking his ass off. You know? Hatton is a bigger man than Curtis. Where does to this day originate? I don't understand what it means. Oh, to this day? No. Deontay Wilder, he tried to say something without saying it. But he was angered by Radio Raheem here. He said that because Deontay Wilder was referring to slavery. He was referring to slavery and then post-slavery. Okay, that's what he was talking about. Soul Man 679. When Radio Raheem asked him, he said, "You've been fighting for your people." Deontay Wilder got pissed off because he looked at Radio Raheem and was like, "What do you mean? Your people? Our people? Your people too?" That's what he meant. Like, don't say it like that. But what Deontay Wilder, he took out of context was, Radio Raheem is a reporter. So he doesn't include himself when he's reporting someone else. It's only about that person. But see, Deontay Wilder was already mad because of Tyson Fury, because Tyson Fury came over and he was talking about and expressing how his people, which was the gypsies in the UK, as you guys know, a lot of them get discriminated and they can't go everywhere. You know, it was similar to how us as blacks in the 60s were treated, or in the 50s and 40s and 30s. You couldn't go everywhere, and if you did, you'd have to be behind the store, back of the store, or behind the restaurant to pick up certain orders. If you know, you could sell to them, but they couldn't come through the front door type shit. Different restrooms, different water fountains, different schools. You know, that's what he was talking about. He was like, and then he was like, so 400 years, we still been fighting to this day. To this day. So, but he was pissed off because he didn't like Tyson Fury coming over here giving his story. You know, because he was like, hey, I got a story too. So damn what Tyson Fury's talking about. No problem, Soul Man. Little history lesson for you, for those who don't know. So a lot of people didn't. A lot of people be saying to this day, but they don't know. You know, a lot of people be saying, man, I've been hungry to this day. I've been ready to go to this day. You know, but that's what it originated from. How how he was pissed off. That's the way he explained it, because he was mad when he explained it. So yeah, he was pretty hot. Usyk for the win. Chris won. Usyk. There's only one tiger. Know how you say it? There's only one Alexander Usyk. I am very feel. Usyk looks crazy, don't he? Why is it when black people talk about slavery, they leave out Liberia, where black Americans enslaved the local Africans, or the fact slavery still exists in Africa? Because it wasn't in Africa. It was here. They were stolen from Africa. Our ancestors were stolen from Africa. So that's where that was. Yeah, they had slavery there, but that wasn't really a big area where people profit millions and millions and millions of dollars off like cotton and shit like that. So that's the difference. And then plus, if you've never been there, if you're a black American or someone born in Americans of color, right? Either you've been from the Caribbean or anything else, you don't know of that anyway, so you don't talk about anything you don't know of. like if you were from Haiti, you would talk about what happened in Haiti, not what happened in Africa, because you don't know about Africa, right? That's why. You know, AJ is a conqueror, also enslaved. Wait, AJ is a conqueror. No, I'm no Alexander. He's no Alexander. No, we got to say it right. AJ is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. Usyk may upset Joshua if he keeps moving and remains focused 12 rounds. Joshua is training for 15. Joshua knows what he's dealing with. That's good, because if he don't, he's going to get his ass beat. Tricked, flipped, boxed. He's going to, he's going to get showed out. So, man, problem. Kurt, they are sold by their own people. Go in and educate yourself. There is a program about it. Paul Burke, I know about slavery in Africa. That's not the point. That had nothing to do with what Deontay Wilder was talking about, because it didn't include Africa, because it wasn't what was going on in Africa. That's what you're not getting. You don't understand what I'm saying. You asked, well, why does people leave that out? Because they weren't talking about what happened in Africa. Just because it was going on somewhere else didn't mean it wasn't right to where it is. And honestly, I don't think I can't say people cared, but I don't think that was their main concern, what was going on in other places, to make people feel any better, if that makes sense. cool. That's why a lot of people left and went to Britain. Do you know where the word slave came from? No, I don't. Joshua is fighting his third gold medalist. AJ's resume is by far the best in the division. Yeah, by far. That's why guys like Dillian White, though, I don't think he can afford to be fighting stay busy fights. You said they were stolen from their countries. No, they were sold. I mean, they were still stolen, though. They were stolen and then sold. The Romans enslaved Africans to the gladiators. Okay. AJ's gonna rip Usyk's head off. Promise. Tony Lyons, afternoon, Kurt, brother. I've just come on. Welcome to the chat. Everything they had. Yeah, I mean, that's such a nasty thing. Come far. Yes, we have come far. Wherever it started, nobody should try and own another human being. Soul Man 679, counterpunch to you. For the record, before we get off that subject, I think people need to focus on human trafficking right now. Because there'll be some smartass will try to tell you, well, actually, they actually started with prostitutes. Dillian White should godly Walker Charles Martin. Yeah, he should. I don't see why he don't. And that's what, like, I side-eyed Dillian because he was talking about coming over here first. And then he went from, yeah, I want to fight the best. Like, who says Chris Arreola's better than Charles Martin anyway? That don't prove anything. But it just shows you that the shit that, like, Al Heyman does some of the, like, he doesn't make fights for fighters. He makes fights for, I don't know what the fuck. I mean, just for the sake of, like, we should have had Charles Martin and Chris Arreola already. Real bad connection. Not gonna lie, Arreola is a pretty dangerous fight. He can still bang. If Chris Arreola knocks out Dillian White should retire and start managing like his brother that I want to be working with real soon. Dean. Usyk schooled Gassiev. He did. As Bellew recently said in an interview, you only need to be punched in a certain PSI on the chin to get KO'd, so you don't really need a massive punch to drop someone that's accuracy and timing. Chris Warren, that's true. Kurt, I don't know how to counterpunch that, bro. Human trafficking is disgusting. I mean, that's the new modern slavery. So it is what it is. Areola is older than my grandmother. Damn. Okay. Got a young grandmother, dude. But then again, grandmoms are getting a lot younger, aren't they? Kurt, if AJ was in the ring instead of Chisora that night, AJ would have annihilated Usyk. Chisora gassed in round 4, but still survived, and was only wobbled once or twice the whole fight. Well, he was wobbled, wasn't he? I know you didn't. You're trying to talk about how old Chris Arreola is. JR, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. I like White, but I think him and Wilder fought, Wilder would brutally knock him out. Yeah, I believe that. That's a huge possibility. Because I see Wilder's right landing before Dillian Whyte's left hook. Because Wilder can deliver it faster. He's done it longer. He's knocked out more motherfuckers with it. Regardless if they were cab drivers, Uber drivers, plumbers, football players, basketball players, hockey players, you know what I mean? Accordion players. He was knocking people out, so he knows how to hit someone. When Arreola dropped Ruiz, I was making coffee and I had Kurt on YouTube on my phone and thought he was joking or something. Asked him to say it. Arreola drops Ruiz, what is happening? Yeah, I remember that. Chris Arreola hit that boy. Boom! Man. That was crazy. It's personal between DW and DW. Yeah, man. But I think Dillian Whyte takes it to the extreme anyway. He pushes it to the limit. Both Wilder and Whyte are clumsy fighters. Whyte, I would say, is clumsier. Wilder's just wild. You know, I think he could be controlled if he thought about it, but I don't think, you know. He kind of stepped off the side and hit him from an angle. Excuse me. Dude, I had McDonald's for breakfast, and it absolutely sucked. Ruiz had been made to be more than he has because of his win over AJ. Yeah, I mean, you have to see what he's going to do with anybody else. Because look, let's look at it like this. Even guys like Victor Ortiz was once the fighter, right? He was that guy that got sucker punched by Mayweather. But you know what I mean? He had beat Berto and things like that. So he had a pretty decent resume at the time. But Josecito Lopez was the one that upset him. And then, therefore, Josecito got all these big fights. He got the Canelo fight. He got the Chino Maidana fight. He got, who else did he fight? Did he fight, wasn't it Adrian Broner? So, I mean, he got some paydays. But, Andy Ruiz, he didn't, you know, if Andy Ruiz fought like guys like Dillian Whyte would probably knock out Ruiz. If he fought Luis Ortiz, depends on what day it was, because Luis Ortiz is an older fighter, but that one good fight left, right? Kurt, who is the best heavyweight prospect right now? Jared Anderson, probably. Remember Michael Coffey? Shit, he crashed and burned quick, didn't he? Ruiz versus Joe Joyce. You know, I would like to see that fight though. But you know, Ruiz has the fast hands too, man. So you know, there's no telling. I think Fury is scared of Usyk. I think Fury's scared of Usyk too. I think that. I really do believe that. Okay, we're back. What do you got? Ajagba and Sanchez. I'm going for Sanchez, man. You know, Sanchez. Think about Joyce is, yeah, he's slow, but he's strong as an ox. But JR, for Sanchez on that. I think, and I think whoever going to go, he's going to be, and I'm going for Sanchez. I think Sanchez will definitely be more challengeable, but he's going to be undefeated. I want to see these guys that have something to prove, that want to go somewhere, not at the top. See, any of those guys higher. Wilder could retire right now and be a rich guy, maybe. Tyson Fury, the same thing. Anthony Joshua, definitely the same thing. Those guys are those guys. But guys like Frank Sanchez, Efe Ajagba, they have something to prove. They want to show that they're the best at what they do. You know? Kurt, brother, I'm going to go, unfortunately, because of the connection is real bad. I'm not even sure you answered my question. What question was it? I didn't even see it, man. Dillian White versus Fury. Who wins? I don't know. It's a good fight, though. I don't know who wins out of that. So I don't know who would win after that, honestly. I wonder how well Ruiz will take body punishment. That's a good question. Since he don't have, his belly's kind of like a whoopee cushion right now. A small, deflated whoopee cushion. But he's losing it, though. But it's funny. He got a big head, so his head's getting... Londoner, let me counterpunch you. Why is Fury calling out Chisora instead of Usyk? Usyk beat Chisora. Well, I mean, that's why I think Tyson Fury doesn't want any part of Usyk. And if Usyk beats Joshua, he damn sure don't want to. He would rather trash Joshua than fight Usyk. Oh, that ain't gonna stop him from that. You got beat by a cruiserweight, you big bodybuilding bum. That's what he'll say, but he ain't gonna fight him. And look, Otto Vailene gave his ass problems, and we don't even know who the fuck he is, right? We didn't even know who the fuck Otto Vailene was, and he busted you all the fuck up. Put Ruiz on the canvas, the huge target Ruiz couldn't miss. Hell yeah, that big ass head, big ass watermelon head and shit. Do you think Usyk could be too elusive for AJ? I don't know. We'll see. We will see. But anyway, let's stay tuned.